Ooh. This be Stop playing with him. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first live edition of Soapbox Sports. Takes, bold debates straight from the Soapbox. I'm your host, Lucky, alongside my co-host, Brian. How you feeling, baby?
Feeling good. Glad to be live. I feel like we made it.
We live and
I
direct.
feel like we made
Live
it.
and direct.
Hey, welcome to all who has tuned in to our first live event. Like my boy stated, man, we bring in the heat today, man. It's been a great weekend in the NFL, and it's been great hoops too, man. We got a lot to talk about. So I don't know, Chris, you want to dive into it?
Should we start with the biggest upset of the weekend in the NFL?
Yeah, let's go and get into it.
Let's talk about it, man. Miami just bounced the Bills. Brian, a thrashing. Tua Tagovailoa, or Tua turned the ball over, as the Miami Dolphin fans likes to call him, balled out yesterday against everybody's favorite MVP, Josh Allen. Let me know, Brian, are the Bills in jeopardy of missing the playoffs?
Yes, the Bills are in jeopardy of missing the playoffs because the AFC is stacked. And I only think one is coming out of that division that the Bills are in. And right now, the Patriots have a hefty lead. But just even about the game, though, I think we should have seen the writing on the wall when Miami fired their general manager. I don't know. It's something about a firing that just gets energy in the locker room, man. So I know a lot of people who was betting this weekend are truly upset. But we should have seen it. We should have seen it coming when Miami made that move that they might have a little juice this weekend. But Chris, I know you was leading off with this question, man. What do you think? Bills going to the playoffs?
I didn't listen. I know last week when I was giving my AFC contenders, I left them off the list, Brian, and you called me out. And I was like, dang, I might have made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake, y'all. Listen, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. You just look at the math. You got 7 spots. You got 1 from each division, obviously guaranteed for the division winners. That's 4 right there. I think we're gonna have 3 from the AFC West, and then potentially 2. Again, people might call me wrong on this one. Potentially 2 from the South. I'm not counting out the Texans just yet. And I'm not counting out what's his face, and I'm not counting out the Jags, even though they're second right now. So I don't think they'll make it. I never really felt big on the Bills, even though they have the same schedule that we have. They play the same teams we do. I just don't see it.
And to add to that, everyone believes that the Ravens are going to get in, right?
Yeah.
The Ravens might not win the division
and still make the playoffs.
So everybody's aforementioned teams at the top were the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're fighting between each other for that last spot, which is crazy to say. And I think it just outlined what this whole NFL season has been. One week, the Chiefs are on top. The next week, the Chiefs get dogged by the Bills, and then the Bills get walked by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say, but the Bills are in trouble because they're not going to win the division.
And the big problem is, Brian, for real, this season more than ever, they miss Stephon Diggs, bro.
Yeah.
They miss Stephon Diggs. You need a guy who you can go to on third down, you can just trust, get the ball to. And I understand for the most part, for the last 2 years, it's been Kincaid, but outside of being like an all-world tight end, which I think Kincaid's a good tight end, not an all-world one, a tight end's really not moving the needle for you. You got to get a guy who can beat one-on-one coverage, and they don't have it. They don't.
Yeah, man. They're asking Josh Allen to be Superman. It made me thinking like that Cam Newton era where he never really had a number 1 receiver and he just did it on his own. That's what Josh Allen's doing right now. And we're going to transition, but I think the transition is perfect because the reason the Bills may not make the playoffs is due to the New England Patriots. And this weekend, the Patriots had a litmus test against the Buccaneers. I was someone said a contender in the NFC, but the Patriots played in the new bowl, the Brady Bowl.
The Brady Bowl.
Chris, explain the Brady Bowl for the people who may not
All
understand.
right, so the Brady Bowl is both of the teams that Tom Brady played for and obviously won the Super Bowl with. He won 6 with the Patriots, one with the Buccaneers in 2020. So this was patented. Am I saying that? Patented? Patented?
It's good enough.
Yeah, whatever. We'll go with it. Patented as the Brady Bowl this weekend. I don't know if anybody else outside of me was calling it that, but it was the Brady Bowl for me. And boy, did I have a Brady Bunch good old time, Brian. Listen, I got to watch my team beat up on my dark horse NFC contending team in the Buccaneers. And listen, the Patriots, they're funny, man, because we're going to talk about, are they the team to beat in the AFC? It was a good win, Brian, but I still don't think so. I still don't think that they're the team to win, to beat in the AFC. A lot of what's happening with the Patriots, because we talked about this for the last few weeks, obviously they're a little bit ahead of schedule. But the biggest reason I don't believe in them is because I just saw what happened with the Washington Redskins last year. And they remind me a lot of the Washington Redskins from last year. New coach, not a new quarterback. He's in his second year, but still relatively new. New offensive philosophy. Josh McDaniels comes in, got a quarterback playing out of his mind, not much offensive weapons, and then they're overachieving a year in advance. So it was a great win yesterday. Bucks, it was a good win, but I don't see the Patriots as a team to beat in the AFC. I'm going to stick to my guns. I've been saying the Colts. I'm going to stick with the Colts for now.
Look at you talking with some sense, boy. I thought you was going to be a homer for real. I mean, I can't believe we agreeing 2 times in a row, but listen, he's right. The Patriots are ahead of schedule. They look phenomenal. Let me just say Drake May looks phenomenal. But their schedule has been cupcake, bro. It's been soft. And I would say Buccaneers was a real test, but y'all want to be real? The Buccaneers are one of the most injured teams in the NFL. They don't have Bucky Irvin. They don't have Mike Evans. They don't have Chris Godwin. And they're throwing to 3rd and 4th stringers to lead the team. And now Baker has been pulling off heroics all season, but how long could he actually keep that up? And now that he's going against a real team, he stood his own. I mean, he did the best he could. But Patriots, they're going to win the division. They're going to be in the playoffs. The rest of their remaining schedule is soft. I mean, they got the Jets next week, the Bengals, Giants, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins. They're winning that division.
Yeah, maybe one loss. It's probably the Ravens. We'll see, but yeah, I think we'll win the division. I just don't see us as the team to beat in the AFC. But yeah, we'll quickly move along to a team that's going in the right direction and a team that's heading in a downward spiral with their second-year quarterback / first year, because technically he didn't play last year. But we're gonna talk about the Vikings, man, and what went wrong yesterday with them versus the Ravens. JJ McCarthy had a very, very, very bad game yesterday. Now, this is only his 4th start on the season, but Justin Jefferson looked clearly frustrated after about 2 quarters of play and a couple of turnovers, bad interceptions, bad throws by JJ. Brian, are the Vikings fooling themselves with JJ McCarthy?
No. The Vikings played a desperate Ravens team. I mean, the Ravens are in playoff mode right now. The Vikings aren't there yet. JJ McCarthy don't even know what playoff mode means. So for a quarterback that's only played 4 games in his entire career, he has a winning record so far. Yes, it's going to be ups and downs, and he's playing people's, let's say, dark horse to win it all. People were predicting the Ravens to win it all. They got off to a terrible start. So I don't want to jump the gun on JJ just yet because he showed me some heart the week before. And with Justin Jefferson being frustrated, I'm sorry, man. It comes with the rebuilding team. Sorry they didn't bring Sam Darnold back, but you shouldn't be mad at JJ. You got to be mad at the coach and the GM because they did that to you. They had Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold in the building. Y'all went 14-3 last year. Why? I mean, Justin Jefferson, don't be mad at the kid. I mean, you weren't showing all that frustration with Carson Wentz, bro. And Wentz wasn't doing any better. So chill out on the kid. He just gotta grow into himself.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But they are fooling themselves with JJ, bro. He's not that guy. It was really a struggle because I had this game on alongside of the Patriots game side by side because, you know me, I'm a semi-Ravens fan this year because I'm really hoping that they can win a Super Bowl. But it was really tough to watch because this was a very, very winnable game despite all of the turnovers by J.J. McCarthy. The Ravens didn't play well by any stretch of the imagination. And a few plays here or there, by getting your star players like Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson the ball, they probably would have put themselves in a better position to actually potentially win this game. Now, like you said, the Ravens are desperate, so they're going to fight and claw tooth and nail because they essentially have to win out. Air quote that. They don't necessarily have to win out, but they have to win out in order for them to make the playoffs or have a chance of making the playoffs. But I can understand Justin Jefferson's frustration because this is what, year 6 for him? I think there's like 5 different quarterbacks within that time span. And all I'm going to say is this, man. There was a disgruntled star Vikings wide receiver once upon a time. He found his way over to a budding superstar in the New England Patriots. So, Patriots, make the call this offseason, man. JJ and Drake May. Woo!
Bro, the transaction wasn't that direct. He went to Buffalo first, bro.
It don't matter, man. He ain't trying to go see Josh Allen, bro. He trying to go to the real quarterback winning the division. That's Drake May, Justin Jefferson, bro. You would look good in that red, white, and blue, baby. Come to a winning organization. Come see how the winning side works with a good quarterback.
Listen, I don't agree, but just to keep things moving along, I mean, if JJ's not the answer, there may be a quarterback or quarterbacks next year that could be the answer, that could revitalize a career.
That's fair.
And just to throw it out there, right now we're looking at Kyler Murray, who everyone is saying won't be back with the Cardinals. And then I wanted to throw someone else in there, Trevor Lawrence. And for you, Chris, who would you bring back, Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray?
I just want to make sure I'm answering the question correctly. Am I bringing them to the Vikings or bringing them back to the respective teams?
You're bringing them back to their respective teams. Okay. Honestly, who do you think is better? Who has a brighter future? Because these are 2 highly touted prospects: Kyler Murray, Heisman, Trevor Lawrence won an NCAA championship. He was the
number 1 high school quarterback.
Yeah, he was the golden boy. He was supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes. What's happening?
All right, you know where I stand, and it's simply because of 2 reasons, and especially when it comes to the quarterback position. Well, just in general, when it comes to sports. 1, best ability is availability. Kyler just hasn't been able to stay healthy. I think this is his 4th or 5th season, and he's never made 16 games, or I think the most he's ever played is 12 games in a season. It's not a good look. And then secondly, you know how I feel about short quarterbacks, bro. Like if you're shorter than me or close to my height, you should not be playing quarterback in the NFL. And with Kyler, it's the ability and then the height. When you're an undersized quarterback, you have to have supreme talent, which Kyler does. To his credit, he does. But the availability, what's the talent if I can't see it on the field consistently, week in, week out? The main reason that they're in this, the main reason that they have the record that they have is because of the backup quarterback. And that's in a large part because he's been able to play. Now, would they have a better record with Kyler? I don't know. I really don't know, because I do believe that Kyler's a better quarterback than Jacoby. But unfortunately for the team, it looks like the team is playing better with Jacoby. So I bring back Trevor Lawrence it's tough. Let me answer. I'm going to answer it a different way. I'm going to bring Trevor Lawrence to the Vikings. I can't bring him back to the Jags because it don't look like the Jags want him back. The coach looked frustrated yesterday after that loss, man, because that was the game was in their grasp. I'm going to lean towards Trevor Lawrence, but I'm not bringing him back to the Jags. I'm trading Trevor Lawrence to the Vikings. I know that ain't answer your question, but that's my cop-out, bro.
No, that's fine. Right now, we have 2 coach killers. Legitimate coach killers. But if you want to argue talent and skill and who's shown more, it's Kyler Murray easily. It's easy. And honestly, if Kyler Murray was in a better organization or better run franchise, I think he would be elite. And I have some stats here for y'all. His career completions percentage is 68%. It's almost 70%. Now, he does have a losing record at 38-48, but your boy Trevor Lawrence has a record of 27-42, and his career completion percentage is 59%. And he's supposed to be the golden boy with an arm. Trevor Lawrence has a 79 touchdowns and 53 interceptions in his career. That's almost 1-for-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Kyler Murray, 121-60. 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Now, Trevor has been to the playoff twice. Kyler only been to the playoffs once. And Trevor has a playoff win, even though it was fluke. He threw 4 touchdowns and 4 picks in that game. He still won. The team won. But I feel like Trevor has had multiple coaches. He's had Super Bowl winning coaches. He has had the talent. They have got him the running backs. This year they have the defense. Kyler Murray, he's had sort of a decent defense, but they were old. When they brought J.J. Watt, Buda Baker's always been a dog. I mean, on the receiver end, Larry Fitzgerald was out of his prime. And then they had now they got Marvin Harrison, who doesn't look like he's living up to that number 2 pick. Kyler Murray has an opportunity. If they let him go, he's going to be your next Baker Mayfield of the NFL, your next Sam Darnold. Trevor Lawrence, he's a bust, bro, honestly.
He's a bust, man. But we got to be real about this, Brian. We just got to be real. Like, at the end of the day, one can make it to the end of the season. That's just really what it comes down to for me. Again, I think Kyler probably has a little bit more talent than Trevor. But again, like, if you can't play, what's talent, bro? Like, I can't do nothing with talent if it's always on the bench or always in the doctor's room or something like that. But splitting hairs maybe, but
it ain't no splitting hairs. After I read them stats to you, bro, Trevor Lawrence is throwing that joint away, and he showed you this past weekend blowing the league up 29-10 in the fourth quarter to a CJ Stroud-less Texans. And like, oh, we can blame the defense, but Trevor put that defense in some bad positions, man. They can't carry for so long.
That Houston defense is nice, though, Brian. You got to give them some love.
The Houston defense is nice, but it's the Jags. They're the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. They get takeaways. Chris.
That's fair.
So honestly, the Jags defense,
they did their job.
They did their job. They shut out Davis Mills the whole game. Picks, fumbles, they were scoring. Trevor has to end the game. And I actually like their coach, Liam Cohen. He got heart. He got a little dog in him. So.
He do. I mean, listen, I think we're going to agree to disagree. I think Kyler's better on talent-wise than Trevor, but hey, none of them are knocking down the hatches of the MVP race. That's a good place to pivot because, boy, oh boy, we are 2 quarters or half of the way through the season right now. And we wanted to give you an updated MVP ballot, courtesy of your boy. This isn't Brian's. Brian's going to critique it, all right? So we're going to start off, all right? This one is going to be controversial. At number 5, guys, for our MVP update. Coming in at number 5 is Mr. Nick Benito. Yes, I have a defensive player on my MVP ballot. The shocker. I'm not like everybody else, guys. Defense, there are 3 phases of the game in football. Defense is a very, very big part of it. And if we look at the Denver Broncos defense, that's the only thing that is carrying them right now. Nick Benito is 3rd in the league in sacks, only behind, I believe, Myles Garrett and I'm drawing a blank. Is it Brian Burns? It might be Brian Burns. And that defense on the Broncos is all world because without them, the Broncos probably would have 0 wins. Coming in at number 4, guys, another non-quarterback, Mr. Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seattle Seahawks. He is currently leading the league in total receiving yards. And it's not even close. The next person is probably like a couple hundred behind him. He averages, on average, guys, 90-plus receiving yards per game. No one's been able to do that since 2014, Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown's a top 10 receiver all time. Coming in at number 3, the one, the only, Jonathan Taylor. Now, Jonathan Taylor could have been higher up on this list, but we all know how the NFL works. It's going to go to a quarterback. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a mulligan and put him right here in the middle. Jonathan Taylor's probably going to break the all-time single-season rushing touchdown record held by LT Damian Tomlinson at 23. He has 4 games with 3 touchdowns already. 4 games with 3 touchdowns. He has 6 games with at least 2 or more touchdowns. And yesterday, they would have lost without Jonathan Taylor. It's really just that simple. But then again, they're playing the Falcons. We'll talk about them a little later. Coming in at number 2, my guy, Drake May, leading the league in completion percentage. 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Well, 3 now. 3 interceptions. Second year in the league. Patriots have an 8-2 record, sitting number 1 on top of the AFC. Got to give him some love. Drake May at number 2. And number 1, everybody's favorite quarterback, still doing it, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is about 40 years old, came into this season with back problems. Now he has the whole Rams organization and offense on his back, boy. All right? Matthew Stafford is balling right now. He's leading the league in touchdowns. He's 25 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. 25 touchdowns, guys. You have about 8 or 9 games left. So he might be able to break that record. Depending on what happens, we'll see. But he is leading a prolific Rams offense and is still doing it at the highest levels. And I think he has 3 straight games with at least 4 touchdowns. No one in NFL history has been able to do that. So right now, he leads my MVP ballot backs. So 5, Nick Bonito, 4, JSN, 3, Jonathan Taylor, 2, Drake May, and 1, Matthew Stafford. Brian, what you think?
First off, get all defensive players off this list.
There we go. Y'all some haters.
Get him off. Nick Bonito. Who? Bonito what?
Bonito.
Bonita?
Bonito.
Boy, get him out of here. I mean, you can throw Patrick Surtain. You can put anyone from that Broncos defense.
Yeah, they're
there.
killer. Yeah,
but not in the top 5, man. There's people more worthy. But I ain't gonna worry. I ain't gonna worry about the lower tier because that's all up for grabs. Who cares who finishes 7th? You know what I mean?
It's a 3-man race.
You know what I mean? If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. You already know. So for my number 1, I like Matthew Stafford. He's on a tear. He has had 3 straight games with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. You can go on ESPN or whatever, but they saying that's like never been done before. Never been done before. So that's crazy. But I'm bumping Jonathan Taylor up to number 1 after this Atlanta Falcons game because he showed that he is the Colts. He showed that he is the Colts. Because the Atlanta Falcons defense is one of the top defenses in the league, maybe 1 or 2 in like yards given up in like every statistical category on defense. And Daniel Jones floundered. And Jonathan Taylor literally saved the Colts from collapse. Because if the Colts would have lost this game, the remaining schedule, they were going to collapse. You know why? Because Daniel Jones was going to feel pressure. And Daniel Jones was going to revert back to Danny Dimes from the New York Giants and not Indiana Jones. And y'all don't want to see that.
We got a comment. You're right. It looks like Jonathan Taylor deserves to be number 1. Shout outs to Eddie. Eddie, we appreciate you joining us on the live, man. Thanks, man. All right. So listen, I'm willing to listen. I'm a Drake May guy. And for me, I was skeptical coming into the season. I'm willing to bump him down. I can move Jonathan Taylor to number 2. Matthew Stafford deserves that number 1 spot, bro. Like I just said, man, 3 straight games with 4 touchdowns, bro. No interceptions. Never been done in NFL history. When you break NFL history, you gotta at least, and as a quarterback, because Saquon did something last year and they didn't give him no love. But when you break NFL history as a quarterback, they bump you to the top. So he has to get the quarterback tax and bumped up. So yeah.
No, this is what Jonathan Taylor is doing is reminiscent to Adrian Peterson, where every team stacks the box because they know what's about to happen. Let's go over Matthew Stafford's weapons. He has a Hall of Famer as his number 2, and he has Puka Nacua, who I think is the best receiver in the NFL.
Did you not just see JSN on my MVP?
I don't care because Puka got hurt. That's the only reason he's not in your MVP standings. But Puka, from an intangible standpoint, yards after catch, hands, blocking, running, just complete receiver, number 1. Higbee, tight ends, they got good running backs. They got a great defense. For the Colts, Michael Pittman, he's a decent number 1, and he has Daniel. We stacking the box.
Brian, 67.1 completion percentage. He has 2,427 yards already, bro. Already.
Okay. Okay.
already, bro.
Jonathan Taylor, like you said, is going to break the Russian record MVP. But let's move along, man. That was his top 5 MVPs. We're gonna do, or I'm gonna do, my top 5 NFL teams. So starting and coming in at number 5, we'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I know y'all gonna hate that one, but I just believe that that loss to the Bills was a part of the process. They lose to the Bills in the regular season all the time. At number 4, the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor is a dog. And they just got Sauce Gardner, even though he got cooked this past weekend. They're still going to be elite, though. And number 3, Seattle. 3rd in sacks, 4th in interceptions. They just won a game this weekend on defense alone. And Sam Darnold is quietly cooking. And they have Chris Lee's MVP candidate. At number 2, the Rams. I battled over the Rams and Seahawks on their placement, but one, I just had to go at the quarterback position in the head coach. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford is going to know how to get it done when it actually matters. I don't know about that with Sam Darnold and McDonald. At number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is all because of Howie Roseman. I mean, every GM in the league, he needs to drop a course on how to GM, just in general, because this guy knows how to go and get the players he needs, and he doesn't hesitate. The Eagles are the number 1 team as they got better at the trade deadline. They knew they were slacking in the corner in the DB position. They went and got out Jair Alexander. They got Jalen Phillips, and I believe they got another corner as well to help with the secondary. That's what you're supposed to do as a GM. You see your needs. That's my top 5, Chris Lee. Let me know your thoughts.
Listen, man, you already know I might have a problem. There's no way the Chiefs are a top 5 team right now. They just aren't. They lost to the team that lost to us. So we got to be real and ask ourselves, who's better? And I don't have a problem with any of the other 4. Got to ask ourselves, who's better? The Chiefs or the Patriots? That's it. So I'll just say take the Chiefs out at 5, put the Patriots there. You might have yourself something to go with, bro.
If you ask me, I think the Chiefs are better. I think the Chiefs are a better team. They're going to be a better team defensively, and they're a better team offensively. Now that they got Rashee Rice back, Xavier Worthy. I know Pacheco always hurt, but they still got enough running backs to get the job done. They have more weapons than the Patriots have, in my eyes. They still have Travis Kelce, and I believe the Chiefs are going to the playoffs. And if the Chiefs had to play the New England Patriots in the playoffs, who do you think is going to win? Now, let's answer that question. If you had to choose the Chiefs or the Patriots in the playoffs, who are you going with? You talking about regular season? I get that. The Patriots have had a cupcake schedule. The Chiefs' schedule has been intense. They've played some of the toughest teams in the NFL. They've already played the Bills. They played the Ravens. They played Philly. They've played almost everyone that's considered a top-tier team. Now, when you tell me who the Patriots have faced, that's a top-tier team, you're going to tell me the injury-riddled Buccaneers? Oh, yeah, they beat the Bills. That's a divisional rivalry game. Yes, they beat the Bills, but the Bills, I don't think, are going to struggle to make the playoffs. They don't have a number 1 option. So kudos for the New England Patriots for being ahead of schedule. But when it comes to an actual holistic team, when you go for coaching, when you go for quarterback, when you want to go receivers, because Stephon Diggs, he's been good, but he's not what he used to be. But I agree. I agree with you, Eddie. New England is playing better, I would say, right now. But to what level of competition? If you look at their strength of schedule and you compare that to the Chiefs, really, and if you go with, the Bills just beat the Chiefs, the Bills have won 5 straight regular season games against the Chiefs. The Bills place everything on the Chiefs. So I agree, Eddie. Patriots look good, but I think it's fool's gold right now. I already know, like you say, in Andy Reid and Mahomes, we trust. So they're going to stay on my list until they fall off the list. But let's see. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What do we have next here? Great. What do we have next? We're gonna introduce our soap or slime category, and this is actually looking at the most attractive head coaching jobs in the NFL. So we put potential on here because we feel like there's going to be a lot of movement and shaking after the season ends, and as you can see, already mid-season as well. So, as you all know, Giants just fired Brian Daboll, so that's one of the teams on our list. But we're just going to start at number 5 for our soap or slime list, and I'm just going to read off the team, and I'm just going to say if they're soap or slime. Soap, that's a good team that we want to select. We believe it's a good opportunity. Slime, not a good organization to go to, not an attractive head coaching job. So let's start with the Atlanta Falcons. For the Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to say soap. And I'm going to say soap that this is a great I'm not going to say great organization because some might feel like the Atlanta Falcons are cursed, but I feel like the talent is bar none. I feel like the Atlanta Falcons actually have the most talented team in the NFL. If you go from position by position, Chris, I don't think you can miss. Now, at number 4, the Steelers, if they don't make the playoffs or if they don't win a playoff game, Steelers might move off Mike Tomlin. For soap or slime, I'm going to say slime. They don't have a quarterback. They still don't have a quarterback. And they wasted too much time on Ben Roethlisberger and not looking for the future. They wasted time on Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. And without a quarterback or your quarterback of the future, that is not an attractive destination because once you become the coach of that team, you're going to start off losing, unfortunately. And you're going to have to look for those draft picks. You're going to look to stock up draft picks, and you're going to have to do a rebuild. So the Steelers are on the brink of rebuild. That's slime. Number 3, the Browns. Kevin Stefanski. He got to go now. But if Kevin Stefanski is relieved of his duty, I actually feel like this could be a soap or a positive situation. Now, the Browns have a defense in place, and they're going to have a high draft pick. Unlike the Steelers never have a high draft pick because they Mike Tomlin throughout the season. The Browns will have a high draft pick. So if you come in as a coach, you get to set the tempo, you get to set the tone in the draft, and you have pieces to trade to get more draft. You have Myles Garrett, a huge trading piece. So I like the Browns as a soap situation for a new coach to come in and put his stamp on the team. The Dolphins, slime, just nasty. 1 year in Miami, they break dancers. What they say on First Things First, man, they be break dancing out there. It's too much to do in Miami. You're going to have a good time or live a good life as a coach. But when it comes to the team, you have a lot of aging veterans. You have Tyreek Hill. You have to figure out what to do with Tua. Is Tua your quarterback of the future? The defense, I mean, after this past week, it's like, are they good? Are they not good? Right now, they're not good. So I'm going to say Dolphins is a slime situation. If you could avoid that, I would say avoid it. Number 1, the Giants. Brian Daboll was just relieved of duty today. So I want to know what's next for the Giants, Chris, and do you have them as soap or slime?
They're my number 1 soap, bro. Number 1 soap. You talk about talent. Listen, I've liked what I've seen out of Jackson Dart. I was very skeptical when they took him before Shador, but I can understand why they did it now after watching him play. He lost his number 1 receiver, lost his number 1 running back in Scatterboo and his best friend. And he still goes out there and balls. Now, Brian Daboll just puts him in bad position. He's running him like he's Lamar Jackson. I think this is probably the number 1 attractive landing spot in the NFL going into next year. And then I'd probably say right after that is maybe the Browns. Outside of the quarterback position, that defense is crazy. They probably have to address some things on the offensive side, but that's really, really fixable. but on the defensive side, it usually takes a lot more work. So I'm gonna go soap for the G-men. Yep, G-men is soap. For your G-men, Eddie, they're the number one attractive team in the NFL for now. The rest of these is kind of slime, bro. The number one slime though, Brian, for me, and you named them at 5, and that's the Falcons, bro. It's the Falcons, yeah. Listen, you know how I get down. Last week I told you how I felt about them. Get rid of my boy, the legend, Young Wei Koo. I'm gonna bring the fat head next week. Well, you're gonna see it. I'm gonna wear it right here. The Young Wei Koo fat head, the legend, Young Wei Koo fat head. And then for some reason they just find new and creative ways to lose games. They've had good head coaches, they've had good GMs, they've had good players, but they find new and creative ways to lose games. You gotta think about this. Coming in, what's his face? Kyle Pitts was supposed to be the best tight end to ever play the game. He can't play tight end. But Bijan Robinson is one of the best running backs in football. For some reason, they're not running the football. Michael Penix is supposed to be very accurate, lefty, and change the trajectory of the franchise. That's not happening. The defensive players, the 2 defensive players that they drafted are really, really good, and they have an impact, but it's not translating into wins. Raheem Morris, y'all know how I feel about him. Whatever, bro. The Falcons, Brian, get this. I moved down here in 2016. Mercedes-Benz was finished up in 2018. The Falcons have not hosted or won a playoff game since that stadium was built. It's going close to 8 years, bro. So listen, the Falcons are cursed. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter who's your quarterback, who's on the defensive side, who's your wide receiver. Remember Julio Jones? Remember Roddy White? They had a lot of great players in their history. They find new and creative ways to lose. So this is the slimiest of the slimes for me. I'm going to go Falcons as my biggest slime, and then the Giants is my biggest soap, bro.
I just got to address that real quick.
It's not new address.
It's address, bro. I actually had the Falcons as my number one soap.
Falcons is the number one soap or the slime?
Soap.
Like the best team available, like the best.
Yes.
Coach. Okay, interesting.
And one, the Falcons just will not hire a proven coach. I don't know what's going on there.
I thought Quinn was good enough.
Not at that time, but he did a good job.
He did a
good job. But they have probably the best running back tandem in the league. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, their receiving core out of this world.
They can't win.
Their defense is top 5 in the NFL right now. So you coming in with a young defense because they got them 2 Georgia boys, rookie of the week, and all they need to do is get the coach right. And maybe the quarterback, but I don't know. Kyler Murray looking like he might be available. This Falcons job is the most attractive. The only reason I put them ahead of the G-men because the G-men did not fire their GM.
Yeah.
Bro, they cannot allow this GM to run the hiring process for the next coach. Because I feel like if it doesn't work out, the GM is going to get fired before the coach. And now the
coach is in a bad spot.
They're just doing things backwards. Get rid of both. They're the ones. How do you get rid of Saquon Barkley? Let him win a Super Bowl just to keep Daniel Jones, and then to let Daniel Jones go in the middle of the season because you don't like him no more, and he making you look bad. Now for Daniel Jones to leave for free and become a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Fringe Pro Bowl quarterback.
Not fringe, he Pro Bowl. So that's the only reason if the Giants would have got rid of their GM, I would have had them at number 1.
Last thing before we move on, though, on this, because there's a couple of names on here, obviously the current head coaches of these teams. I think, honestly, Mike Tomlin would be the perfect fit for the Falcons. I think he would be the perfect fit for the Falcons, but I'm going to leave it at that only because, like, just for time and purposes, we can have a discussion about the Falcons another day, but I think he'd be a good fit.
Or Atlanta.
For Atlanta, yeah, in general, yeah. But yeah, listen, we're gonna move ahead to week 11 because we have a couple of powerhouse matchups coming up. We have 5 games that we have circled for week 11, which could really be a determining factor for all of the teams involved in these games here. So I'm gonna go down the list and I'm gonna ask Brian, who does he have winning these games? All right. So this is our week 11 look ahead for the powerhouse matchups. Game number 1, Brian. The Bucks are going into the Bills' house. Bucks versus Bills. Who you got, bro?
Bills easy.
Easy. What you mean easy?
Bills easy. They're a desperate team, Chris. If they have won any shot at making the playoffs, they have to win this game. The Bucks are okay because they're in the worst division in the NFL right now. So they're just trying. The Bucks are just trying to get healthy. The Bills are going to play with a desperation that no other team is going to have that weekend outside of the Ravens.
I'm gonna go Bucks, only because I just don't see how the Bills defense finds a way to plug any gaps. It can't be good giving up that many points to Tua Tagovailoa. I think Baker's going to be ready because that was a 2-game losing streak now that they're on. So I think the Bucks will be ready to play this game. And I think, like you said, it's going to put the curtains on the Bills season. All right, game 2. Bengals versus Steelers. This is a sneaky good matchup, Brian.
Steelers got to get this one. Bengals are playing spoiler right now. They're 3-6. Joe Flacco has been cooking. They did play it to the wire game last time. Very exciting. Steelers defense has been looking better. I mean, I guess their offense has been looking terrible. I don't know how to rate the Steelers, but I just feel like they get this one.
Comments are saying Tomlin been deceptive for a while. Overrated. Interesting. Okay. Seahawks versus Rams. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Rams. It's a tough one.
This is probably the game of the week, honestly.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go Seahawks, only because that defense, bro.
Yeah.
That defense has been crazy. I think like the last 2 weeks they had like 5 or 6 turnovers between those 2 games. The Rams defense is all world, especially that front that they have.
Yeah.
But I just think the Seahawks defense is a little bit more complete. This is a tough one, honestly. Now that I'm talking about it, I kind of want to pick the Rams.
Go Rams. I'm going based off quarterback. That's it. Quarterback and coach.
We going Rams. I'm gonna go Seahawks. Yeah, we'll split hairs on that one. All right, next game: Chiefs versus Broncos.
Chiefs all day, easy money. Might be a blowout. It won't be a blowout because the Broncos defense is just out of this world. But Chiefs are in desperation mode as well, and I think they're gonna bring the Broncos back to earth because the Broncos have played no one this season.
Brian, I'm gonna go Broncos here. I'm gonna go Broncos. I'm gonna put the Broncos.
I can't stand them.
I can't stand them either.
I hate the Broncos.
I can't stand them either. But like I said, that defense, they're honestly, that defense is probably one of the best defenses I've seen since I've been watching football. Since probably that last Broncos defense, the 2015.
You haven't been watching football long.
2015 no-fly zone Broncos defense. They remind me a lot of them. They can just shut down anybody. That includes Patrick Mahomes, who hasn't looked too good this year. So I think Surtain's probably going to lock up Rasheed. So I'm going to go Broncos here, slight edge, like they always do, pull some fourth quarter voodoo magic and win this game, bro. Oh my God. And then last but certainly not least, we got the Lions versus the Eagles, bro.
I don't know. I'm going. You never know what team is going to show up. I'm going to just go with the Eagles because the Lions have not shown up in big games this year.
Except for the Ravens.
Yeah. And the Ravens were reeling in. But the Lions, every time I expect them to be elite against a good team, they embarrass me or disappoint me. So I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this one, bro. I couldn't tell you who's gonna win this.
You don't know who's gonna show up.
Yeah, both of these teams are wishy-washy. So yeah, I'm for the purposes of picking a team, I'm gonna go Lions. Because if AJ Brown's in the game, I just feel like he's gonna throw off all the vibes in the Eagles. So he's gonna screw everything up. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lions on this one. You done with football?
We done.
Let's
get to the hoops.
Let's get to the hoops, man. Let's talk some basketball, man. Brian, you had an interesting one. I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick this one off because this was your first topic that you wanted to touch on, man.
Man, it's been circulating mainly by Paul Pierce himself, saying that LeBron should come off the bench for the Lakers. If you don't know, the Lakers are, I believe, 7-2 right now, maybe 7-3. I know they just lost to the Hawks. So Paul Pierce was saying the Lakers look extremely good. You know, Austin Reeves hooping, Luka hooping. DeAndre Ayton actually looks good, serviceable, like an actual big man. Rui hooping. The Lakers look good. So Paul Pierce said, LeBron, you 40, over 40. It's time to come off the bench, big dog. And you can come in with the second lineup and dominate then, but don't come in here messing up the flow. And Paul Pierce, you tripping, fam. You tripping on this one. Listen, I do agree that the Lakers are hooping. I think they have another year under their belt with Luka. Also, they have another year under their belt with JJ Redick, who is coaching his behind off right now. Because you can say, oh, they're winning without LeBron. They was winning without Luka too. They was winning without Luka. So should Luka come off the bench? Because when Luka was gone, Austin Reeves was dropping 50. He looked like the number one. He looked like he could be a superstar in the league when Luka was gone. And then Luka came back. He still ball. He wasn't putting up those numbers, but Luka is just that great. So I think it'll be beneficial for them because now they have another option to facilitate. LeBron don't have to be as ball dominant, but LeBron's IQ is necessary if they want to actually win this year. So everybody, and I brought this up because everybody been hating on my Lakers pick at number 3 like they wasn't the number 3 team in the West last year. And the only reason they lost is because they had 0 center. Like, come on, y'all. We had Jackson Hayes. That's it. But the Lakers is real this year. And LeBron coming to that starting lineup, who you going to guard? Who you going to guard?
So do you want him coming off the bench or no?
I think that would mess. I would retire. That would hurt LeBron's legacy so much for him to come off the bench. You know why? Did Jordan ever come off the bench?
He should have.
Jordan would have retired. He should have. What?
Should have.
When? You're right.
The Wizards.
No, the Wizards was garbage then and garbage without him and garbage before him. Never, because he LeBron James. He in that GOAT conversation. You don't come off the bench. He ain't Melo. He ain't Russell Westbrook. He ain't you, Paul Pierce. Y'all think Kobe would ever came off the bench? Stop it, dog. And it is levels to this. LeBron's still averaging 25, 5, and 5 at over 40. You don't put that on the bench. I don't care.
I mean, listen.
I'm right. Yeah.
I think you're wrong. I'd have him come off the bench.
And do what?
Run the second unit,
bro. You talking about killing the vibes? You gonna kill it? Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I'm more than likely killing the vibes. I'm more than likely causing a wedge between LeBron and Luka. But if you really look at the player profiles, they both do a lot of the same thing, bro. And then you factor in Austin Reeves, who kind of does a little bit of the same thing that LeBron and Luka does. They're all ball dominant. They all want to run the offense through them, score, facilitate, do all of the good stuff. And once you have two of those players who are obviously younger than LeBron James and look like the future of the franchise, you have to put a priority on them versus the 40-year-old who has sciatica, bro. Who has sciatica.
That is an old man.
That's an old man. That's an old man ailment, bro. Like,
my man got shingles.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm gonna bring him off the bench. Now, does that mean like he's not closing games? Obviously, you got to close games with LeBron, but I mean, coming off the bench just because you don't start the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game doesn't diminish anything in your legacy.
It diminish everything.
It's about who closes, man, not about who starts, bro. Because you got to think, like in most instances, when they did have that 6-man, who was their 6-man back in the day when they were winning? I think it was like Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley was closing games for them, bro. He wasn't starting. And I get it. Avery Bradley, LeBron is kind of compares apples to oranges, but still, man, like LeBron at this point in his career, he's still a very good player, a very impactful player, but there's levels to this. And he's not on Luka's level right now. He's just not. And Luka's, you can make the case that Luka is actually the MVP right now, just based off of what he's doing to start the season, bro. So listen, man. You got sciatica, you need to sit down a little bit. Well, you get a stretch because sitting down is probably not going to help with the sciatica. But yeah, man, like you gotta move on from the starting unit, bro. You shouldn't be getting started.
Crazy. If anybody knows how to play with talent, it's LeBron James, Mr. Big Three himself. Everybody wants to.
That's my goal.
Everybody wants to label him as the one that started Big Threes. Remember Dwayne Wade in Miami? Him and LeBron are very similar. They have to figure it out. And once Wade saw that LeBron was better, he took a back seat. But he still started. He didn't come off the bench. So why can't LeBron slide in and take a back seat to Luka like he did last year and they got to the 3 seed? When they made that trade for Luka, they weren't the 3 seed. They were playing extremely well. It was just about matchups when they got to the playoffs, and they got the worst matchup to a team that got multiple bigs, and that was the Minnesota Timberwolves. If they had a center, they could have won it all. Just like they were beating OKC in the regular season with just LeBron and Luka. Bro, it can work this year. The team is better. JJ, I think LeBron should be excited to slot back in the starting lineup. All that bench talk, y'all gotta go somewhere with that.
Listen, man. Again, he's not like he's gonna be dying on the bench, bro.
Bro, you just said Avery. You just compare him to Avery Bradley.
Compare him to Avery
you
Bradley.
already messing up his legacy.
I'm saying he can play the better role that Avery Bradley
No, you said
plays.
it's not gonna mess with his legacy. You know, Avery Bradley did it. Like what, bro?
Listen, bro. If you're a great player at the end of your career,
see,
you got to be selfless a little bit sometimes.
No, that's the thing. You're saying great. LeBron is not great player. LeBron is GOAT player. If you're a GOAT player, you don't come off the bench,
bro.
You walk in and you call shots. Listen, if Kobe ever came off the bench, that would be a ding on his legacy. Remember, Kobe was rocking the bench. You remember Kobe will retire before he ever rocked the bench.
Kobe came off the bench, bro.
No, he ain't come off no bench, bro.
Came off the bench.
He wasn't great. He wasn't great yet.
He came off the bench early in his career,
he wasn't
bro.
the Mamba yet.
He was early in his career,
and he shouldn't have been.
I mean, listen, I'm just gonna say this: if the Lakers really want to prioritize the future and winning basketball right now, their second unit has to have somebody who can hold the line while Luka and Austin get some rest. And I think LeBron will be the perfect player to do it. Because like you said, he can play with anybody on any different talent.
I like Austin in that second lineup. Austin will kill.
All right, so let's say JJ asks him to come off the bench and he doesn't. You trading LeBron?
Hell yeah.
There you go. I'm just saying though. Listen, it's a possibility.
I'd say that because I want LeBron back in Cleveland. You put Bron, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley together. Finals. I don't know about championship.
I don't know if they're gonna win, but I ain't mad at that. All right, listen, we'll move on because this is an agree to disagree type of thing.
Disagreement.
It is a disagreement.
It's only facts over here. You said Avery Bradley, bro. See, already.
I ain't say he was like, you know what, F it, man. Screw it. We're gonna move on. You got me tight. Listen, bro. Another interesting topic for the NBA is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right now, they are sitting at 10-1. I think they started off the season 10-0. Last loss came against Portland, if I'm not mistaken. And they've been blowing out teams, bro. So the question that I have for you, Brian, is should the Thunder go for the regular season wins record, which is currently 73-9, held by the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, why not? I mean, go for it. You already got y'all ring. It ain't like y'all don't have a ring already. Y'all cemented in history. Go make some more history. Go build y'all legacy some more. Even if y'all don't win it this year, at least y'all be over to Golden State Warriors when it comes to records. Because I think I had the argument before was like, how great is this OKC Thunder team actually? Like, where do they rank for all-time status? And I guess it's too early to do that since they're so young. Because I'm like, to me, they're on the Dallas Mavericks level with Dirk. You know, that was a good team. That won a great NBA championship team to me. Or one of the, elite top 5. So go for it. This will improve y'all rankings on all-time teams. This is going to help the guys like Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and all those guys when it comes down to legacy. Go get that record, boys. Go get it.
Funny enough, the current holders of this record, when they were breaking that record. Remember, they just won that championship. Steph won MVP, and then that next year I think they started off like 23-0. And then Steph won the unanimous MVP. Now, obviously, I don't know what's gonna happen with the MVP race. It's still too early to tell. For it, they should learn from the mistakes of the predecessors in the past, man, because a lot of what you heard after that Cleveland came back from 3-1 ultimately when they defeated that 73-9 team was that they felt gassed and they felt pressure to go for it. So they were playing the 82nd game. Because I remember everybody was asking me, where was I when the Warriors broke the single season wins record? I was like, I was watching Kobe Bryant's last game, watching him drop 60 on the Jazz. And everybody always says, especially Draymond when he talks on his podcast, is that they were gassed, they were out of fuel, and that kind of carried over for them going into finals. Now, that's just excuses, if you ask me, because if you up 3-1, you got to close the deal. But there is some legitimacy to that, especially because I'm a Nuggets fan. Watching them run themselves into the ground all 82 games. Now, they don't have the bench that OKC has, but that plays a factor. Once you start going for it, and then you're obviously getting closer to it, the mental kind of can take over the physical and weigh you down a little bit. So I wouldn't go for it. I'd prioritize trying to get another championship because it's been was it close to 10 years now since we've had a back-to-back champion in the NBA. So I think they have a great possibility of doing that. And you got to remember, they're doing all of this without Jalen Williams. Well, the important Jalen Williams, their second leading scorer and the guy who could have won Finals MVP had he gotten a couple more votes here and there. So I wouldn't go for it. If they have the possibility to, yeah, I just wouldn't go for it. Honestly, I just prioritize trying to win a championship, going back to back. So can they get it? Sure. Should they go for it? No.
Do it while you're young. And like you said, Golden State was making excuses. Them boys was young. They was up 3-0, 3-1 in the finals. They were fine. But yeah, let's keep it pushing, man. Since we're talking about, finals and teams, pushing to be great. We're gonna pick our dark horses out of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. I'm gonna kick it off with the Eastern Conference. Remember, this is dark horse, so this is somebody who can come out of the blue, but I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks. I know everybody's probably like, why didn't you pick the Bulls? I think the Bulls is fugazi right now. I just think they came out with a little bit more energy than everybody else. They came out hot, but enough of the Bulls. I believe the Atlanta Hawks have the talent. Y'all may not know about this kid named Jalen Johnson, but he a dog. Kristaps Porzingis looks great. We just need to get Trae Young on board. He's been hurt for half the season already. We can't have that if they're going to actually make a push. But with the East being as hurt as it is now, with your Celtics and Pacers gone, and new guard like Detroit is number one in the East right now, the Hawks have enough talent where they can be respectful and they can actually make a push. Their rookie from last year, Rishishar, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He's a nice scoring guard coming off the bench, giving you 18 points off the bench. They have the talent. Dyson Daniels is an elite defender. They have what it takes. It's just they need to stay healthy. I don't know how that's going to look with Porzingis. Anything about my dark horse? You got one for the East, or you just like that?
I don't mind it. Yeah, that's a good one. Because my dark horse is obviously not a dark horse anymore. It's Detroit, but
yeah,
they look good. Yeah,
that's why I didn't pick them because I'm like they number one.
They look real good. Yeah. All right, I'll kick it over to the West. Western Conference dark horse for me. I'm gonna go the Portland Trailblazers. Coming into the season, I wasn't say I was high on them. I had them making the play-in tournament, but just the way they started out the season, the type of defense that they play. I can't say his name. Tuchimani, he's holding it down. You got Donovan Clingan. But it's crazy. The biggest piece that they've added and that's helped them out a lot is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has found his resurgence back in Portland. He's killing the game out there right now. And if they can find a way to fit Dame Lillard into this, now they're not going to win a championship. That goes without saying. But if they can find a way to fit Dame Lillard in with that core group, and I'm sorry, I missed this one person, Denny Avdia. He might be an all-star this year. He's probably going to get in on the coaches vote. They have enough pieces to make some noise and actually upset some major players in the West. So my dark horse for the West is Portland. What you think about that one?
I like it. I don't know how long it's going to last because they're just young outside of Drew Holiday. But Drew Holiday has kind of steered or captained the ship beautifully. But I wonder if the headwinds with Chauncey Billups is going to impact anything. But right now they look good. I mean, if you had to pick another dark horse, I would probably say the Phoenix Suns. I want to see Jalen Green look nice for the few minutes he came. Like he might have a nice bounce. I mean, it's hard to say bounce back, but he might play with a little bit more with something to prove, with some pop, with a chip on his shoulder, which would be great for Phoenix. I think Devin Booker got a chip, Jalen Green got a chip on their shoulder. So they're the type they can make the play-in playoffs. Making noise in the West is honestly going to be difficult because of it's just so loaded. Like, it's kind of obvious who's going to make it.
It's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Close out the NBA segment with some way too early predictions, guys. We're only 3 weeks into the season, just under 3 weeks into the season, and we have our way too early All-Star game starting 5 predictions. Brian, I'm gonna let you kick it off with the Eastern Conference. Let me know who you got as your starting 5 for the All-Star game.
All right, starting 5. Let's start at point guard, Cade Cunningham. He is dealing that rock. He is leading the Detroit Pistons back to relevance. They were relevant last year, but he's making them actually series contenders. 25 points per game, 10 assists. Shooting guard, this was tough for me, but I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell with the Cavs because he's averaging over 30, and I think they'll have a better record. Honorable mention for that spot that I was considering was Tyrese Maxey. And coming in at small forward, Jaylen Brown. If y'all can name me any other small forward that's elite in the East right now, because it's not Paolo. He's dropped the ball this year. You got one for me?
He's not a winner, but Michael Porter Jr.
Ew, disgusting. Disgusting. Jaylen Brown for now. I couldn't really think of too many other small forwards. That's playing great right now. Way too early, y'all remember that. Power forward or the other forward position, Giannis, that's easy. And then center, I put Cat, but I was really considering Jalen Duren for the Pistons, who's averaging 20 and 12 right now. And he might be, it's not the comeback play, most improved player of the year so far. So that's my Eastern Conference, way too early All-Star game starting 5. That team is going to lose. Go ahead, Chris. Oh, we gotta keep it pushing here.
Let's do this. Way too early All-Star game starters for me. I'm gonna just go straight through it real quick. At point guard, I'm gonna go SGA. Third in points right now in the NBA. Number 2, this is a given. Luka, another guard who's killing it, should be in the MVP conversation, leading it. Number 3, this is a legacy pick, LeBron James, because we already know he's going to get the picks. LA is one of the more popular media markets in the NBA. Number 4, best player in the world, the power forward position, we're going with Nikola Jokic. And then to round it out, we're going to go with Wemby. The young superstar who's killing the game and probably is going to be the face of the league for the next 10 years. Brian, what you think of my list, bro?
I mean, who else can you pick? The list is solid. I mean, I don't want to say who else can you pick because it is the West, and the West is stacked. But I know we were discussing this earlier that it was going to be hard because we're leaving Steph Curry out of the starting 5. And to be honest, Steph Curry is probably going to be in the starting 5 due to fan vote. But if we're going off just playing prowess and who's playing well right now, then we're gonna go with SGA because he's playing better than Steph. But outside of that, LeBron, I mean, he could sit. KD could slide in there, but you already know fan vote is gonna put these guys in. This is a solid list. They should win the All-Star game, but the All-Star game is an exhibition now, so half those guys may not even play or even take it serious. But I like your list though, Chris.
It's a good list. Yeah, next time just take that chance with Jalen Duren, bro. I think he'll probably get it over Cat, but it'll be tough with that New York market.
He was a fan vote.
But I mean, if he keeps playing like this, it's gonna be hard to deny him his position in the starting 5. But I believe that's it for today, y'all. I think we made it through the first live one. A couple of hiccups here and there, but we're gonna get that sorted out. We appreciate y'all joining us. Hold on, let me see if this works. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but
got a little round of applause.
That's a little round of applause. We appreciate y'all. As always, tap in with us on the socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We'll be coming back here live again next week, 6:30, same time. What you got for the people, Brian?
Get our chat. We want to hear y'all. We want to read what y'all talking about in the chat, man.
interested in stepping up to the soapbox, let us know. We'll get you connected. Come on the show, give us your takes. We'll debate them back and forth. We'd love to hear from y'all. See y'all next week, y'all.